So with the coronavirus going around, many of you may have been asked or even forced to stay home and work remotely. So for a large part of my adult life, I have been working remotely as a freelancer. In today's video, I would like to share my experience with regard to remote working and freelancing. Of course, your mileage may vary, and what I say may not apply to every single person. For example, in my line of work, I don't have to go out and meet clients in person. So before I begin, I would like to show my appreciation to everyone working essential services like healthcare, or even things like delivery services or in supermarkets. You are the true heroes keeping the world running today, and I'm thankful for each and every single one of you. So when I mention that I'm a freelancer working remotely, the first thing that usually comes to people's mind is freedom. Well, it's true to a certain extent. I can choose if and when I wake up every single day. Wait, if I don't wake up, it means that I would be dead. And I can also choose what I wear and where I work. For example, I can simply slip on my pajamas and lie in my bed and work. Well, that is if my back doesn't hurt from it. And I can also choose what jobs I take on because I don't have a boss huffing down my neck. But as with video games in life, there is a final boss. And in this case, the final boss are your bills. So, because I have ongoing expenses, I can't always turn down every single job that is offered to me. Even if my schedule is really tight, I find it hard to turn down jobs sometimes because I always have to worry that if I do it enough times, it may sour our relationship in the long term. And if you ever need a dose of self-discipline and motivation, you can always take a look at your bank account to see how much money is left inside. Spoiler, not much. So in terms of interpersonal relationships, one advantage of working remotely is that I don't have to deal with petty workplace politics or drama. Things like a colleague having a bad day and taking it out on everyone else. Or even things like my own bad habit annoying everyone else around me. On the other hand, remote working can be a very isolating and lonely experience. So for example, I don't have immediate access to help and advice, and sometimes I don't have anyone to turn to when I'm stuck with a problem I cannot solve. Sometimes communicating with people via email is also lacks a little bit of a human or personal touch. And some people may consider it unprofessional, but I sometimes include smiley in my emails, just to brighten up the day. Just to tell them, hi, I'm friendly, I'm smiling when I'm typing the email. And also, it always brightens up my day a little bit when I receive emails with a little bit smiley at the end. And I just find that, refreshing as a person working remotely. And some people deal with the isolation by signing up for co-working spaces. And I actually did sign up for one for around 6 months, but I never used it because I never get out of my flat. And also I just find that it's not very economical for me because I have everything I need at home. And some people go to cafes and work, but being a little bit of a germaphobe myself, I don't like the idea of my laptop touching cafe tabletops because they always seem a little bit suspect. Also, as I mentioned, I have a proper workstation at home, I have a coffee machine, and I have my cat. So in terms of time management, as a freelancer, there are a lot of advantages. So for example, I don't have to commute to work, and that saves me about 30 minutes to an hour each day. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't have to meet my clients in person, but your mileage may vary because maybe you may need to meet your clients to discuss things. And I can mostly plan my own schedule. For example, I can sneak in a workout here and a grocery run there. So there's a little bit of flexibility in terms of time management, except when my cat decides no work for me today. The desk belongs to me now. In terms of disadvantage, and this is very specific to freelancers, outside their core jobs, freelancers do spend a lot of time doing a lot of what I would consider unpaid back office work. So freelancing is just basically a small one-person business, and you're not just the operations department, you are also the marketing, the accounting, the scheduling, the tax, the compliance, and etc. But on a small scale, but nonetheless, it's quite time consuming. So in terms of equipment, you have, as a freelancer, you have to ensure that your equipment is running and it's functional. Unlike, when you're working for someone, you can always go to the technical department and get new equipment or get replacement equipment. But when you're working remotely, you have to ensure that your laptop or whatever your desktop is working perfectly or working well, and your internet is running properly. So for example, a while back, my ex-internet service provider cut off my internet service. Even after calling them for a few times, they deny that it has happened, and they only admitted it after the contract was terminated. I will not be naming the company. So all in all, remote working and freelancing I think suits me very well, but it's definitely not for everyone. So I didn't go into the details about finances because I think this is finances is too specific for the scope of this video. Are you freelancing? Are you working remotely? Are you thinking about doing it? Or are you trying it out due to the coronavirus? Tell me about your experience in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I would really appreciate it if you would like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you next time. So I've always intended for this channel to be about positivity and chill and relaxing vibes. So I didn't want to make a separate video about this. But ever since the coronavirus reached American and European shores, there has been an increase in racist attacks against Asian people. So personally and thankfully nothing has happened to me yet. But I just hope that people would stop propagating racist stereotypes against Asian people, because when you do that, you're not sticking it to the man. You're not holding those people in power responsible for what has happened, or rather what is happening at the moment. But instead, you're hurting people who have mostly nothing to do with what's going on. China has a population of 1.4 billion, and there are many more people of Chinese or Asian ancestry living elsewhere in the world, like me. And most of us are just as much affected socially and financially as you are. Plus, we have to endure a little bit of the stigma that is associated with the virus and where it happened first. So I just wish that people would be slightly more thoughtful, when talking about what's going on at the moment. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening, and take care of yourself and take care of the people around you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.